Have you had a look at just how many Day 1 Game Pass titles we've already got confirmed for 2026? Because it is a lot. If your New Year's resolution is to spend more time around gun-shaped aliens who crack jokes while blasting away at the proponents of an intergalactic anti-human conspiracy, then boy do I have the incredibly specific game for you. Set to arrive on February 13th, High on Life 2 brings more wacky weapons, vibrant planets, and absurd fourth-wall-breaking humor to Squanch Games' satirical first-person shooter series, like a boss who shrinks himself down so he can chase you through the game's menus. You also get a shiny new skateboard to zoom around on, so expect an even faster, funnier adventure this time around. Game Pass is the place to be for five-a-side football, with Rematch joining this year and Freestyle Football 2 set to sign in the second quarter of 2026. Now if we can just grab 8 more, we'll have enough for a five-a-side game's five-a-side game. Freestyle Football 2 takes the same one-player, one-character approach as Rematch, but gives it a hero shooter spin. Take advantage of their special skills, develop your own playstyle, and work in tandem with your teammates to dominate the pitch. Whether you're playing in Freestyle Football 2's esports-ready competitive multiplayer or enjoying the drama of its single-player story mode. Set to arrive in early 2026, which is not exactly the same as Q2 or spring, but technically it could be either. But we've got Super Meat Boy 3D. That's right, everyone's favorite slab of imperiled bloody flesh is back, and now he's got a whole new dimension to bound through. And a whole new dimension for the game to chuck grinders, buzzsaws, and missiles at him too. Super Meat Boy 3D promises to be a proper test of platforming skill, with levels that have been designed to be brutally difficult, while always, technically, being perfectly fair. We're all just meat for the grinder in these games, and yet I still kinda can't wait. You can expect a bunch of good things to arrive on March 12th, 2026. Warmer weather, blooming flowers, and the dystopian action platformer Replaced. Set in an alternate 1980s, this dark sci-fi tale stars an AI consciousness trapped in a human body, trapped in a cyberpunk city where things are decidedly not great. They look great thanks to the game's stylish pixel art, but things are not great. A 2D action platformer with fluid combat, clever puzzles, and a truly eerie atmosphere. Replaced could be the perfect title to follow Silksong with. Developed in collaboration with the actual, honest-to-goodness European Space Agency, Aphelion is a third-person adventure that takes players to an uncharted planet called Persephone. The place is dangerous, cloaked in mystery, and inhabited by something unknown and almost certainly unfriendly. And also, it's very chilly. While you're trying not to freeze to death, you can expect an incredible level of realism, as well as some highly cinematic storytelling with a thought-provoking tale about the nature of human bonds. Because no matter how many light years you travel, the real journey is always the friends you make along the way. We all fight with our families from time to time, but not the way they do in At Fate's End. At least, I hope not. From the creators of Spiritfarer, this unbelievably stylish action-adventure game, and seriously, look how stylish, has you crossing swords with various members of your family tree. Each one you defeat unlocks a powerful new ability, but if you don't feel like slicing up your nearest and dearest, you can always try to reconcile with them by engaging in deep, emotionally rich conversations. While sword fighting, obviously. There are lots of reasons to be excited about Beasts of Reincarnation. There's the fact that it's a brand new adventure from legendary devs Game Freak, the fact that it takes place in a fantastical post-apocalyptic Japan filled with strange, beautiful creatures and creaky robots, or the fact that you'll get to engage some of those strange, beautiful creatures and creaky robots in exciting battles using your samurai sword. But perhaps the biggest reason to get excited for Beast of Reincarnation is that you get to team up with a loyal dog named Ku. Pretty cool. Bistro is a food-filled fantasy game about a peaceful village that's being attacked by monsters. The village's fiercest warriors go out to beat the evil creatures back, but you won't be playing as said warriors, you'll be playing as the ones who cook for them. They do say that an army marches on its stomach, which actually sounds super inefficient to me, so you'll have to figure out what to serve everybody to keep them fighting strong. That means gathering the freshest ingredients, figuring out the tastiest recipes, and talking to people so you know what they like. A new Fable game? A Fable game that is new? A new game that is Fable that we have not played yet? It's true, we'll all be making our grand return to Albion next year. Naturally, there's going to be a whole new cast of eccentric, extremely British characters for us to hang out with, including a giant voiced by Richard A. Waddy and a retired adventurer played by Matt King. So there's guaranteed to be giggles aplenty, plus magic, adventure, and all that other good Fable stuff. You might not think that Fable and Forza Horizon 6 have a whole lot in common, but one of them is about horsepower and the other is about giving your horse magic powers. They're both made by the talented folks at Playground Games. They're both sequels to series that we're absolutely crazy about, and they'll both give players vast, beautiful new worlds to explore, which, in the case of Forza Horizon 6, means a trip to Japan. Of course, they'll both be coming day one to Game Pass in 2026, and the final thing they have in common is that we don't really know very well much about either of them at this point. So feel free to hit the comments with all the things you'd love to see in either of these massive new titles. In 2026, Xbox will be marking 25 glorious years, so it makes sense that they're bringing out all the big hitters to celebrate this milestone. And they don't come much bigger than Gears of War. E-Day promises to take players back to the very start of that titular war as our two titular Gears, Dom and Marcus, get to grips with the Locusts for the very first time. I wonder how long it takes for them to figure out that these guys are very chainsawable. And while they wait for E-Day to arrive, Game Pass members can dive into the rest of the Gears of War franchise, including the recent remake of the OG cover shooter Gears of War Reloaded. From one iconic Xbox shooter to another, the original campaign from the very first Halo game is coming back better than ever with Halo Campaign Evolved. It goes without saying that the new version is going to be pretty, with the whole thing having been remade with the Unreal Engine 5. And it'll also add in loads of the weapons, enemies, and features that appeared in subsequent Halo games. So the mighty Master Chief will now be able to sprint right from the get-go. And on top of all of that, Halo Campaign Evolved will also feature 3 brand new mission sets before the events of the original game. The original Planet of Lana is one of the real hidden gems of recent years, a gorgeous 2D puzzle platformer set in a Studio Ghibli-esque world, starring a pair of intrepid young heroes as they try to save their planet from an alien invasion. Oh, and one of them is an adorable little cat thing. It's available now on Game Pass and well worth checking out. Both things that will also apply to Planet of Lana 2 when it arrives in 2026. The heroes look better equipped this time around with wall jumps and run slides thrown into the mix, as well as more precise controls and more refined stealth mechanics. Planet of Lana 2 will take players through raging storms, snow-capped mountains, and deep blue waters for a story that promises to be just as moving and thoughtful as the first. If you'd asked us where the next Plague Tale game was going to take us, ancient Minoan times would not have been amongst my first 10 answers. Not mad about it though. Resonance, A Plague Tale Legacy is a prequel starring a young plunderer named Sophia who winds up on the Minotaur's island, which is home to all sorts of dangerous things, including, I would imagine, a Minotaur. Sophia is a fierce warrior, so the gameplay looks closer to the second Plague Tale game, where some situations call for strategy and stealth, while others call for you to just beat the bad guys up real good. If you're looking for an open-world survival game that you can really dive into, look no further than Subnautica 2. Travel to a distant, very watery world and explore its wet, soggy depths. Gather resources and build high-tech gadgets to help you venture even further. Document the plants and animals you encounter while solving the planet's deepest mysteries, and try not to get eaten by a big, scary fish. Subnautica 2 will offer all this and even more when it launches into early access in 2026, and it'll let you enjoy the whole aquatic adventure in co-op too. I'm calling it right now. There Are No Ghosts at the Grand is going to be the best musical hotel renovation sim open world supernatural mystery game that you've ever played. I know that's a very confusing combination of words, but that's exactly what this game is. By day, you'll renovate your hotel using an array of friendly power tools. By night, you'll get to use those same tools to fight off vengeful spirits and uncover cryptic clues, which will hopefully explain why there's actually ghosts at the Grand. And while all that's going on, you'll be treated to a whole score of musical numbers with everything from laid-back ska tracks to skater punk numbers, because why not? We'll need to find some time to chill out in 2026. Fortunately, Tropico 7 will be here to provide players with a lush island paradise where they can indulge in some rest, relaxation, and perhaps just a little bit of militaristic authoritarianism, you know, as a treat. The latest entry in this zany island-building sim series will let you literally build your island with a new terraforming feature that can be used to craft mountains, beaches, and entire new chunks of land in the blink of an eye. There's also a new antagonist for El Presidente to take on in the story-driven campaign, and a reworked military system that lets you directly control your units so you can thwart your new rival with an extra bit of panache. Wildkin is a funny, fuzzy little game that combines cozy town building and social simming with epic seafaring monster battling adventure. Get your household ship-shaped, spruce up your town, and then head off into the unknown where monsters, treasure, and all sorts of new gizmos await. There are loads of characters to meet and bond with, most of whom have some ridiculous problems that they'd love for you to solve, like finding their misplaced socks. And you can also team up with real people online in up to 4-player co-op, allowing you to bond with them and help solve their ridiculous problems too. Then we've got a game featuring trains that are so crazy that it makes the ones in Ozzy's song look just like regular trains. Dench Attack. It's basically a skating game where you do ollies, kickflips, and all that other cool stuff, but with an actual train rather than a skateboard. And all in the name of taking down an evil corporation. The whole thing takes place in a wacky anime world that's bursting with color and full of strange characters. Throw in boss battles against moving castles, magic girls, and mechanical worms, and you've got a game that is truly off the rails. Although not literally, I guess. Anyways, it looks really fun. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, but it can also be worth $1 million if you use said picture to plan out an elaborate art heist and steal all the things you took the pictures of, which is precisely what you'll be doing in Snap and Grab. Slinking onto Game Pass as a day one release in 2026, this glamorous puzzle adventure game puts you in the no doubt fabulous shoes of a famous fashion photographer who also happens to be a brilliant thief. Travel to exotic locations like the Kyoto Fashion Train and Cairo's disappearing ice hotel. Feast your eyes on the goods and then come back with your crew to rob the whole place blind. Get rich quick and look good doing it? Snap and Grab sounds like my kind of game. All of these and plenty more titles we haven't even heard of yet will be coming straight to Game Pass in 2026. So, to make sure you don't miss a single one, make sure you subscribe and ring that bell. Bye for now.